Good economic data and vaccine optimism lifted European markets on Wednesday. The Euro Stock 600 closed at a record high. Major averages across the continent were up. Europe's vaccine campaign is in high gear. You see the numbers on the screen. After the slow start, EU's vaccination rate surpassed the United States. The latest retail numbers in the euro area look good. June sales up 1.5%. Ireland, Germany and Latvia saw the largest increases. We're going to focus on Ireland. You see it there, 9.4%. Francesca McDonagh is the Bank of Ireland's CEO. She's with me now from Dublin. It is good to see you. The trading environment for banks. We've got two things going on here, really, haven't we? We've got the bank itself and we've got what your customers are dealing with. Now, let's do with the bank itself, first of all, because very different to 2008 and that crisis, where the banks were the problem. This time, would you agree the banks have been able to help solve the issues as a result of COVID, or the financial issues?
Well, the short answer to that is yes. Bank of Ireland, we're the largest lender to the Irish economy, and we want to be part of the solution. We put in place over 100,000 payment breaks for our market to help customers in their time of need. And that's reflected in our results. So we came out with our first half results yesterday, and they reflect three things. First of all, COVID is very much still with us, but there is a path to recovery, and we're seeing that amongst businesses and households in Ireland. Secondly, just as you mentioned, Richard, the vaccination programme rollout has been very successful. It's interesting. In Ireland, we have one of the lowest levels of vaccination hesitancy in the free world. And that is really seeing that sort of vice-like grip that we would have seen COVID have over our businesses and our economy and society. And the third thing is optimism and outlook. Our customers are telling us that their sentiment is as positive as it was pre the pandemic.
But you look on your website, some very interesting article, an interesting blog. I think it must be your chief economist, in which it says the Eurozone will still be behind its pre-pandemic path and may never regain the prior growth trajectory. US is already back there. Europe remains 5.5. It is clear the US acted swiftly. Europe is behind in that sense. So are you worried that even with recovery funds, Europe is not going to recover as robustly as, say, the US or the UK?
I talk from an Irish perspective. I think we have a very positive trajectory. So GDP growth is expected to be 9% this year. In 2020, one of the very few economies in Europe that had positive GDP growth. And we're also seeing, and we're not alone in this, just very positive foreign direct investment still coming through to Ireland. So 9 out of 10 of the world's largest financial services companies, pharmaceutical companies, American fintech companies have operations in Ireland. And they see Ireland as a gateway to the European Union. We're now the only native English speaker in the EU, given Brexit. And that gives us a unique advantage that will support what we see in terms of economic growth and recovery from COVID.
Kind of you to mention Brexit, ma'am. Thank you. Look, how worried are you over this disagreement on the Northern Ireland Protocol? Now, at the moment, everybody's sort of dancing on hot coals because it is, pardon to mixing my metaphors, it's such a hot potato. The reality is, if this Northern Ireland Protocol goes wrong, then Ireland will be hit.
So I'll leave, Richard, politics to politicians. That one thing that the Island of Ireland businesses that we support have demonstrated is their ability to adapt to uncertainty. With Brexit and the impact of trade distortion or disruption has been with us since the referendum result was had. And I think for Ireland in particular, I mean, back in the 70s, it was all about trade with the UK. Over 55% of exports from Ireland were to the UK. The changed since then, and now it's less than 11%. So I think we're seeing the Island of Ireland focus far more on Europe. I hope that the politicians come to a resolution that is good for businesses and households both sides of the Irish border.
Good to have you with us. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.